Hello, everyone. Let's try that again. Hello, everyone. Good to see you all. I have a confession to make. My heart is shaking. See, now my accent is coming out. My heart is shaking in my chest, and I have to confess that it's not easy what you're about to see today and what our fellows are going to present to you. So when you see them speak, please honor them with your attention, your focus, and most of all, your applause. Okay, so let me start by introducing myself. My name is Mercy Eriawarian Susu, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to Halcyon this afternoon. We are excited to reintroduce to you this group of opportunity-intensive fellows with whom I've had the privilege to work for this past 6 months. Our fellows are solving problems that are personal and intimate, as well as globally impactful. They are building a foundation for a sustainable and equitable future, especially for those living in underserved areas in the DMV. As you may already know, Halcyon's programming is centered on social impact. The Opportunity Intensive program is special because our local community in DMV benefits from that impact and from the work that these founders do and their ambition to make the world a better place. In the few months I've had to work with this cohort, I've learned the importance of courage and perseverance. Courage is the ability to face fear and obstacles and keep moving forward. It takes courage to solve a problem that others have become comfortable with. It takes perseverance to push past personal pain to create a product that helps others on their journey. The reality is that running a business is hard, and these fellows will tell you that. It is hard work. The fellows you'll hear from today have leaned into that hard task and are actively changing the mental health space, the health sector, the built environment, and so much more. At Halcyon, we are honored to walk alongside our fellows and provide the wraparound services that can help founders scale along their social impact journey. Given the negative statistics around business success in the first 5 years, the work we do remains impactful and meaningful and significant. As you listen to the pitches today, I encourage you to immerse yourself in the perspective of these fellows and ask how you can help. Before we continue, I'd like to take a moment to introduce our keynote speaker, Craig Borstati from the Economic Development Administration. He is the Deputy Assistant Secretary for Regional Affairs. Craig is an entrepreneurial public servant who is passionate about building teams and businesses and communities for the future. He first honed his innovation skills in remote areas of Iraq as an Army officer, developing new supply chain solutions and infrastructure when resources were strained. So he understands what it means to work with little. Craig leveraged this experience to jump into entrepreneurship, founding a technology firm and investing in startups in Austin, Texas, before returning to the public service at the EDA. There, he is responsible for the implementation, growth, and evaluation of the EDA's economic development programs and policies that create more robust and resilient regional economies across America. We are grateful to Craig and the EDA for their support of this program. Please join me in welcoming Craig to the stage.
Well, first, I have to say kudos to the brave Halcyon team for inviting a bureaucrat into the crowd of bold, audacious entrepreneurs. I will try not to bore you, and we'll get to the real stuff shortly. But as an entrepreneur myself, I was reflecting on how I could be of most value today and level set the conversation. And one stat that I reflect on often when I think about where we're at today in today's economy and what technology is doing to us and changing the way we work, live, play, and operate is a couple decades ago, nearly 100 years ago now, the telephone was invented. It was very, very different than what it is today, now handheld. And so many of you might have kids like me who don't know what that little phone symbol is on your phone, because everyone thinks a phone that is a flat device. Well, it was once a thing you used to turn and have a dial and you'd have to turn it. Well, folks, it took 70 years for the telephone to penetrate over 1 million homes. So before telephones were mainstream, before just 1 million Americans had them in their homes, it took 70 years. You might have heard of Moore's Law and the speed of which technology is changing and adapting the ways, as I just said, live, work, and play. Well, it is adapting so quickly now that computers year over year are getting smaller. In every corner of your household, you now have multiple computers, your smart TV, your phone, your laptop, and so much in between, your car, for example, smart vehicles. Things are moving fast. That's exciting on one end, but also an incredible risk, because if we don't invest deliberately and into all communities that represent the great American nation and people that we are, we're going to move fast and leave some folks behind, and we're at risk. We're at risk from a security perspective. We're at risk from a health and wellness perspective. We're at risk from a food security perspective. And one thing that gives me such great pride and joy at EDA is that we are in the business of investing in capacity building for businesses. At the Economic Development Administration, we invest in roads, bridges, piers, and yes, entrepreneurship support efforts that create the conditions for businesses to thrive. But right now, where we're at in this economic shift, and the fourth industrial revolution really is what I'm talking about here. It is penetrating all markets. Technology is influencing the way we're getting fresh produce, as now we have this warehouse to table movement. I sometimes joke is more farm to table. We have indoor growing centers disrupting agriculture. Critical for healthy access, sustainable access to food. When we think about transportation, how technology is influencing a cleaner, more resilient transportation future. We're here on the East Coast. No one in this room probably survived the news cycle this week without reading about what I-95 is doing to our lifestyle, or what it may do next week when we don't get our beach towels and beer in time for our 4th of July holiday picnic. Transportation, resilience, infrastructure, all this stuff is connected to technology right now. And what's cool about that, though, is we can embrace that and address food security. We can address healthcare, resiliency, and uplift communities while building businesses for tomorrow. So the Economic Development Administration, the Biden-Harris administration, I will proudly share that our number one investment priority has been equity for the last 2 years, to ensure that when we build businesses, they are built for and supporting and participated in by all members of the American society. That is our number one priority. Not second, I can't pick any favorites after that, is sustainable economic development. We talk about sustainability in our environment and our climate. We can and must build businesses that are fueling a cleaner, better, more resilient climate. And you get the theme, what I'm setting up here. And I've mentioned a lot about agriculture and resiliency there, and our food supply chain. And I guess what I'm setting up is, what a great place to celebrate the Economic Development Administration's mission with this cohort of fellows who are tackling all those issues while also building some awesome jobs and opportunity. So it is a triple threat, truly, where we're building businesses and jobs. We're building security for certain industries in our future. And ultimately, my favorite and my personal mission is to build a better nation that's connected and healthy. So right now, when we reflect on recent social unrest and the division in this nation, I think one amazing way that we can get at that is work on creating opportunity for all folks to live and thrive for the American dream. That is what entrepreneurship is all about. So I will turn it over to the the entrepreneurs, and we'll hear from them shortly. But before I do, I will wrap with complementary thoughts to Mercy's thoughts, which are entrepreneurship is always hard. It is always difficult building something new when folks will doubt you that has something that hasn't been done before. But if you reflect on those ideas that I just shared and the speed of which things are moving, the complexity of the problems that need to be tackled, I would encourage all of us to reflect on the fact that one can go far, one might go fast when you go alone, but to go far, you must go together. So for us to tackle climate change, for us to tackle rural-urban divides, for us to tackle food supply chain resiliency, healthcare, we absolutely have to do it together. So I hope today we can figure out some ways to do this together. To the entrepreneurs in the room, looking forward to it. I'll be here. I want to help however I can. Thanks all.
Okay, thank you, Craig. And now I'd like to introduce our first pitch by an incomparably optimistic individual with an audacious goal to get us closer to zero waste. Please welcome Mireille Raad.
Hey, hello. Thank you for being here today. And my name is Mireille. I want you to take a moment to visualize every item you have ever bought. Your favorite summer dress, your sofa, the water bottle you were drinking from yesterday, even the reusable one. All of these items were wrapped. All of these items were wrapped in plastic film. How much are we talking about? The Recycling Partnership estimates that American households go through 10 billion pounds of plastic wrap a year. And for businesses, we don't really have reliable data. But just think. Think of all the airports, the warehouses, the retailers, the UPSs and USPSs of the world, and imagine how much plastic wrap they go through. What happens to all of that? We have a few options. We have the landfill, the ocean, the air, or recycling. To recycle plastic wrap, you have to walk it to a dedicated bin at a grocery store. Raise your hand if you think Americans are walking 10 billion pounds of plastic wrap to a grocery store. We'd be a very fit nation. And businesses, they don't really have an option. This is not fine. My name is Mireille Raad, and I'm the founder of Sustainably. My name is Mireille Raad, and I am the founder of Sustainably. And I'm on a mission to get us one step closer to zero waste. What makes the problem that I just talked to you about solvable? And why can I solve it here? And why do we solve it now? Why here? Luck. North America's largest film recycler is only an hour and a half away from us. Not only we can recycle, but we can do that locally and with a partner that we can trust. And why now? Electric vans. They just came out. Collecting plastic wrap in trucks is going to be expensive and is going to generate more CO2 emission than it's going to offset. Electric vans are clean to run and incredibly cheap. So I'm at the right place, at the right time, with the right partnership, and the right tools to create a plastic film recycling subscription, where for households, you no longer have to walk 20 minutes each way to recycle your plastic film. And all you have to do is spend 20 minutes on our website to set up your subscription. And for buildings, for businesses, first, we will track how much plastic film you have in your operations. We'll help you reduce it. Then we'll recycle what we cannot reduce. For recycling, we do a custom setup at each location. We brand your client-facing bins, and we match the cost of your regular waste management services. So you swap some of your trash bin for regular recycling one, your overall cost stays the same. We also give you a data dashboard, so you can easily update your sustainability report. We serve clients in the DMV area. Our revenue model is simple. We use subscription fees, data dashboard, and consultancy fees. We do have competition. Our competitor is TerraCycle. It costs $168 to recycle a 30-gallon bin. With us, because we're local, it only costs $15 for double the volume. To put this in perspective, Zips Dry Cleaner on Connecticut, they recycle 4 bins with us. We pick them up once a week. It costs them $240 a month. Reasonable. For TerraCycle, it would have cost over $5,000 a month. I'm not sure they would have done it. Our roadmap in the next 2 years, I'm going to be focused on businesses, buildings, and homes in the DMV. For example, I'm talking to BWI to recycle all their cargo wrap. I'm doing a pilot with Georgetown. I'm working with Saltbox, a warehouse in Virginia. And I'm working with the Rounds. They use electric bikes to pick up your recycling. In 2025, I want to pilot doing electronics pickup in addition to what I'm doing now. And 2026, expand to other cities. To be able to perfectly execute this roadmap, I need your help with 3 things. Number 1, warm introductions to people who work at DCA and Dallas, the 2 nearby airports. And I want introductions to UPS, FedEx, USPS, warehouses, hospitals, shopping mall, even your local dry cleaner. And my number 2 ask is equipment. We are moving thousands of pounds every month. We cannot do that with our bare hands. We need equipment. Heavy-duty equipment is pricey. I need your help to get it. I don't care if it's new. I don't care if it's used. I don't care if we have to borrow it, lease it, buy it, finance it. I need your help to get this equipment because I know that together we can and we have to literally move mountains and mountains of plastic films to recycle it. So if you have creative ideas how we can get our hands on the right tools, please get in touch. And last, if Halcyon has taught me anything, it has taught me the power of connecting with people, sharing ideas and resources. Please scan this QR code for my Calendly. We can set up a 30-minute time to chat. And I know you have something to tell me, some advice to give. And please connect with me so we can, because sustainability really affects all of us. Okay. And now I want to introduce you to Thomas from Edenic Energy. He's building paradise.
Awesome. Thank you for that introduction. Again, my name is Thomas Hunter, and I'm the founder of Edenic Energy, and we are on a mission to build paradise in underserved communities. And this is because 75% of Black and Brown people are more likely to live in highly polluted areas, giving these individuals limited access to clean air, healthy buildings, and thriving economic environments. So it's not a coincidence that buildings contribute to 38% of the CO2 emissions in the US. Now, there's 122 million outdated buildings. The Department of Energy did an incredible study, and they found that these outdated buildings use 75% of the US electricity, cost building owners $400 billion annually, but unfortunately, 1/3 of the energy consumed and 1/3 of the cost is wasted every single year. So this means that outdated buildings in underserved communities create energy poverty, and these building owners suffer economically. So we know that they need a fundamentally different approach. That approach is Edenic Energy. We make buildings talk to their owners and their operators. So think of Google Home or Google Nest, but for commercial buildings and spaces. We connect our software and our hardware solution to the building so we can identify, design, and manage energy and operational improvements from any digital screen in the world. Now, this is how it works. The building owner types in their address, they type in their role, their building type, and their square footage. Then immediately we unlock value by collecting and organizing all of the building information into one spot. And then after that, we process the data using machine learning, and we give the building owner energy and operational models that they can take on a daily basis. And then after that, we actually monitor the building 24/7 for continuous improvement. So these tools really just allow for a timely and intelligent decision-making that the building owner can take throughout the whole life cycle of the building. And then also, we create new levels of visibility and actionable information that the building owner can take today. So again, my name is Thomas Hunter. I'm a 3-time founder. I have accreditation in leadership and environmental design, and I'm actively completing my degree in electrical engineering. So I know how to penetrate huge markets like the smart building market. But we don't look at our market as in the actual money that's being spent. We look at how many outdated buildings are there. We know there's 122. Out of those buildings, there's 5 million commercial buildings that we're going to penetrate. We plan to actually take 5% of that market over 7 years. And we're actually launching in Portsmouth, Virginia, which is our early adopters and our launchable market, where we know that there's 4,000 commercial buildings in this space. But we also know there's competition, right? Everybody knows a great technology in the building space. But what separates us from our competitors is how our software can scale across communities and how we can seamlessly integrate all stakeholders into one place so they can all make decisions that affect the environment. Now, a go-to-market strategy that has been very successful in the early term is connecting with our channel partners and our accelerator networks so we can meet building owners. And then we also use data mining techniques to access tax and public records so we can meet the building owner directly. And once we meet the building owner, we make financing easy, right? In the building space and the real estate space, financing is super hard. But with our subscription model, we are able to help the building owner start these implementations today. And for building owners that are ready for deep retrofits and big complex projects, we use our energy shared savings model. Now, my favorite part, since inception, since our journey, one of the key points in our journey has been getting grant funding from the Portsmouth Economic Development Center. We launched our MVP last year, and we're currently doing pilot projects right here, but in Portsmouth, Virginia. Also, some key things that I want you guys to think about is that we actually were an Impel Innovator, which is a DOE-backed program implemented by Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory. And then also we won a couple of pitch competitions 3 weeks ago, the Spark 757 competition by Edenic Energy. And also we were one of the winners at Accelerate Smart Cities Challenge. So today though, we ask introductions to commercial building owners for pilot projects. Also, we're looking to hire any CTOs or anybody that's in the technical space. But most importantly, we're asking for a $500,000 seed investment into our company so we can further product development, hire key personnel, then also so we can onboard more building owners in Portsmouth, Virginia. So in closing, we know that it is environmental inclusion that will unlock the energy transition for the well-being of all. So I want you guys to join us, and together we can build paradise. Thank you. So introducing my wonderful fellow, Mackenzie Loy, and what she is doing. She is closing the racial and gender wealth gap with food entrepreneurship. So get hungry.
I'm God bless you.
All right. The homemade marketplace, closing the racial and gender wealth gap through food entrepreneurship. Everybody meet Maggie, founder and chef behind District Chop Bar. She makes amazing food. Seriously, you have to try her BSAT. But Maggie struggles to find new customers. She faces narrow margins, rising supply costs. She'd like to hire a part-time chef so that she can focus on sales, but doesn't have enough predictable orders to do so. And Maggie's problems are not unique. In DC alone, there's at least 2,000 Maggies. We are the Homemade Marketplace, an online marketplace offering corporate catering and custom gift boxes, all sourced locally from women, people of color, and LGBTQ entrepreneurs. Homemade helps food entrepreneurs build sustainable, scalable, wealth-generating businesses by connecting them to organizations like Halcyon, Georgetown, Capital One, who wants to source from diverse local vendors. Homemade offers our customers 3 key things: amazing food with inspiring stories. Accompanying the food are photos highlighting the faces behind the food along with their stories, really helping our customers appreciate and enjoy the food. And this is all through one vendor, making ordering and delivery super simple, yet you still get the benefits of diverse food in every sense. And lastly, we transform your existing food and gift budget into a DE&I initiative. With our impact reporting, we make it easy to share that impact with all stakeholders. My name's Mackenzie Loy, founder and CEO of the Homemade Marketplace. I'm a 2-time social enterprise startup founder, and I have a background in sales, business development, and innovation management. Now, I truly believe that understanding a person's story can have an enormous social and financial impact. Today, we're focusing on our 2 target customers here in DC, universities and corporations with a strong local presence. Here in DC, we see a $6 million revenue opportunity just between the catering and the gift boxes. And as we expand our target customer segments and scale to new cities, we see a $200 million revenue opportunity in the next 5 years across 10 homemade hubs. Revenue. So our revenue comes from a 30% uplift to wholesale pricing. We charge $35 for delivery, and our custom gift boxes have 30 to 50% margins. Just this year, so year to date, we've brought in over $80,000 in revenue, surpassing last year's total revenue and driving over $55,000 in net new revenue to our 37 local food entrepreneurs. But it's stories like Barbara's that drive home why we're here. We became profitable after working with Homemade. Since our launch last year, we received a $65,000 investment from the city. We placed first at Georgetown's Bark Tank Pitch Competition, and we are honored to be here as a Halcyon Fellow. Last year, we delivered over 300 holiday gift boxes and averaged 92 meals per month. This year, we've tripled that. We've delivered over 300 meals per month, and with $0 spent in marketing, word of mouth is our largest driver of sales. 30% of our customers have been referred to us by another customer, and 32% have come back for a second, third, or even 22nd order. And we've been able to hit these growth metrics while maintaining a 5-star average review and getting to pass along amazing feedback to our food entrepreneurs. Like that spicy pork bibimbap bowl, that was the star of the event. And so, as we look ahead, the goal is scalable growth. Currently, we're building out V2 of our marketplace using no-code tools with the goal of tripling last year's revenue while building a lean team. We envision a Homemade in every city. And so in this past year operating here in DC, we've developed that blueprint for launching the second Homemade hub. So today, our ask is for your help in building to that $200 million business. If you know of any no-code platform consultants who believe in our mission, know the catering, gifting, and marketplace businesses, a big ask, but we would love to talk to them. Second, we are looking to hire our first sales and ops person, community manager of DC, and we would love to hire from our community. And lastly, of course, if you have any catering needs, gifting needs with the holidays coming up, I know it's the summer, but this is the time to be thinking about it. Please reach out. We would love to work with you. And together, we would love to delight your employees, your customers, and your partners. So thank you for the time today. I hope I've made you hungry to join us in our mission to close the racial and gender wealth gap through food entrepreneurship. And now it is my second great honor to introduce Robert Azeem Jackson III. Ask him what his middle name stands for.
Anything like that. Thank you so much. Wow. I mean, can we give Mackenzie a little bit more love? And our fellows who have already come up here and given us so much. The folks here have given so much already. You've given your time, so I'm not going to waste it. My name is Robert Azeem Jackson III. I'll tell you more about me later. I have a QR code for that. But today, we're going to talk about my business. I am the founder and CEO of Cipher, and what we do is we help small businesses with their big data. We make it accessible, we make it actionable, and most critically, we bring money to the table. But first, I'm going to tell you to hold one more thing for me, and it's a number. 3%. That is the percentage of Black women businesses that reach the maturity of 3.5 years. Your kid ain't even really doing anything by then, and Black women are holding 5 children and families together but can't hold their business. That is not a failure of the people. That is a failure of a system that claims to be the greatest economy of all time. I believe, and we believe at Cipher, that economic equity is the key to all quality, and that entrepreneurship is the keystone to that. So at Cipher, what we do is we focus on building business-to-business relationships that support predominantly Black and women-owned businesses to elevate the experience of all businesses. We do so by focusing on the problem of data analytics. And what I mean by that is, with this generational growth of 5.4 million new businesses that came into the world in 2019, the largest in a long time, 42% being women, we're going to see the same exact 3% or worse for Black women businesses. For Black businesses, 4% maybe. So what we see and what we do is we help businesses take their existing data, tell stories to find grants and emergent resources from that money. What we do is we help their staff feel ready with data strategy that will change the way they operate, whether they operate across country or they're in one location. And we really focus on taking organizations that are data rich, 20, 30, 40-year-old organizations that never look at their old Excel sheets and make money from that. That's the simplest way to put it. We pride ourselves in simplicity and customer-centered approach around data solutions, meaning that we support your leader, supporting you to grow. And for us, it's about each one, teach one, meaning that if I do better, you do better, we do better. And we see data as the key to connecting people and systems. So when you're making accessible data with us, how does that work? Yes, you've heard things like dashboards being created. You've heard about automation. These things are great. We do that. We save you time and money. We help your staff reduce redundancy. That's important. We built cohort-based learning opportunities so that everyone can learn together and feel a little bit safer when we learn this new tech stuff. I almost cursed. But most critically, what we really do here is build trusted partnerships like Disney does every day with small businesses, helping them become a little more certified and accessible to these founders and grant givers who give multi-million dollars to the same organizations because they can't seem to find trusted quant research for these other opportunity people, right? I'm the opportunity. I'm the trusted partner. And when I serve Patrice and Naomi, they make money. Patrice is my fave. Don't tell Naomi that. But Patrice is my fave. She is a serial entrepreneur, mother of 3, and PhD. She's a badass. And before we met, she was making good bread. She was making about $50K a year on the side. And she's taking care of kids, so she needed more than that. So when I came to the table, all I focused on was partnership, offering her someone who could give her data analytics partnership, offering opportunities for measurement and evaluation. And so that when she applied to $50,000 grants, $100,000 grants, $1 million grants, they knew she had a trusted quantitative partner, and she knew she could focus on what she does best while I handle the numbers. Naomi, on the other hand, already operating a multi-million-dollar nonprofit, it was all about savings. She serves over 500 other small businesses, and so we were able to take our grant management products and cut costs by $200,000. That means a lot, especially when we were helping them during the pandemic when money was tight. Oops, backwards. So since 2021, when we finally established ourselves as an LLC, we've been able to bring in $1.2 million for all women founders. This is a platform-free experience. We don't sell you on an app. We bring in real solutions. And so in phase 2, we actually are hoping to bring in more technology that is designed from the ground up to support our clients. And in phase 3, we see ourselves as key partners in the DC area around building measurement, around how we approach apprenticeship and small business. And again, a lot of information, so come hit me up later. And just so you forgot, or if you forgot, my name is Robert Azeem Jackson III. I'm a movement scientist. And what that means is that when you take data science, the ability to take systems and connections and bring it together with community organizing, you get something special that's meant to solve something bigger than yourself, to move people forward, to move 3% into 10%, 20% and beyond. Y'all know math. So I've been blessed. I can tell you more about me. I really want to. At the bottom, those are some of my partners. I've been really honored to have great partnerships building and solving problems from here in DC back in 2010, helping kids in Southeast, all the way to New York City, serving 1 million students in the New York City DOE. But seize the opportunity today to really support me right here on this stage. I need your money. I'm just going to say it. I've been saying a lot of big words. I'm going to say it real simple. I need your money. We all need your money. But more critically, I need introductions to people who are rich in data and don't know how to access it. I'd rather take that than your dollar. And somebody's not going to like that, but I like that. And if you can't do anything else, please look at this QR code. Schedule some time with me because it'll be worth your time. My name is Robert Azeem Jackson, and thank you. Thank you for joining the Cipher. Yes. And without further ado, I want to introduce you to Marissa. She is a TED Talk extraordinaire, and she's going to change your life. Listen up, folks. Have a good day.
Infertility sucks. It broke my heart. It almost broke my marriage. And who knows where we would be if it wasn't for the resources and mental health support that we received. But we were the lucky ones. We were blessed to have our beautiful daughter. But not everybody gets their happily ever after. 1 in 8 couples struggles with the pain of infertility, and unfortunately, that statistic is much higher among communities of color. Me and my co-founder did not want one other patient to go through this heartbreak without support. Hi, my name is Marissa Nelson, founder of Fertility Haven, an AI fertility and relationship coach to support patients' emotional wellness at every step of their fertility journey. Because fertility dropout rates are really high. As an industry leader who has helped the biggest companies in the fertility space, such as Maven, Ferring Pharmaceuticals, and Kindbody with their mental health strategies, they're trying to solve for one problem: patient retention. Now, 17% to 25% of patients who start treatment drop out. Why? Well, our research shows us that they feel completely unprepared financially and emotionally for the toll that infertility takes on them. They report really high levels of loneliness and lack of support and resources around their mental health. And doctors and staff do not have the bandwidth or the know-how of how to support their patients' emotional wellness. And so when patients don't get the support, they have a lot of questions that they need to get answered. Key questions that are essential and critical to their medical care and their treatment path. And when questions go unanswered, patients struggle. And when patients struggle, they are more likely to give up and drop out of treatment. Inadequate care means lost patients and lost profits. And we can absolutely do better than that. Introducing Fertility Haven, an AI-powered coach to give timely and evidence-based resources at the right time, every single time. Finally, patients have on-demand 24/7 support for the questions that really keep them up at night. The 4 a.m. questions of, what do I do when I have a pregnancy loss? Does insurance cover my fertility treatments? What happens with my partner who has male factor infertility? And all the other questions that are so critical to their care. And this takes the burden off of providers. Providers can now finally give their patients the support that they couldn't before. Between LGBTQ and BIPOC resources, community, content, and stress management techniques, they finally have a place to give their patients all the support that they need to help them thrive during their fertility journey. And when patients get the support that they need, they get to boost revenue, boost retention, and help keep more patients in cycle. And our unique competitive advantage in the marketplace is that nobody tells you that when you go through infertility, that it takes a toll on your self-esteem, on your relationship, and on your intimacy. As your resident sex therapist, I can tell you, after holding space for so many patients who are going through this is our advantage. And I am the Chief Empathy Officer who is also training this AI model to be a compassionate, more amazing version of myself, as well as the coach that they need during this time. And our product roadmap. Right now, we have just launched Fertility Haven, and we are testing it with OBGYNs, fertility clinics as well, not fertility clinics, we're testing it with OBGYNs, with doctors and patients with glowing reviews. We will continue to do our pilot program right now and are looking towards clinical partnership and initial revenue in Q1 of next year. And a global problem that's starting right here in the US. $5.8 billion is lost to the industry every year due to cycle dropout rates. 60% of those dropout rates are due to psychological distress, which is where $3.4 billion in lost revenue comes from. Our pricing model is very simple: $10,000 a month to the clinic to give patients all the care that they need. And we believe that with our existing relationships, our R&D, and our go-to-market strategy, we can capture $100 million in the market share by year 5. And our go-to-market path is through university-backed hospitals, insurance companies, EAP programs, and supporting our military families with the goal of bringing on 50 to 100 clinics and companies every year. And we are the right team to do it. My partner and co-founder is my partner in life and in love. We have weathered some storms together, and nobody is as passionate about patient care and giving reproductive support to the patients that need it than we are. And he is incredibly cute. And our ask. The ask right now is for pilot partnerships. We are piloting Fertility Haven and want to get this in the hands of the patients that need it and so deserve it. And so any warm introductions would be appreciated to decision makers at fertility centers, hospitals, OBGYNs, and with reproductive endocrinologists. We do plan a raise at the end of this year, so please, I would love for you to visit us in the back, have conversations with us so you can be a part of our journey. Because we are united in our mission of fertility care for all, because everybody deserves their happily ever after. Thank you. And I would love to introduce you to my colleague, the life of the party, Mr. Jordan Taylor, who is creating the cities of the future.
What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing? Your house is on fire. It is on fire. Y'all, the planet is on fire. Y'all been outside past week? I know y'all heard about these Canada fires, right? That is a visual representation of all of the emissions that are going into our atmosphere. We need to do something about it. How many of you guys are building owners? We guys own some real estate in here? How many of you guys have been into a building or live in a building? All right, there we go. All right, cool. So buildings have been the leading cause of emissions in the United States. They account for 70% of global CO2 emissions. Now, cost of real estate mortgages have gone up, taxes have gone up, energy has gone all the way up. Now, I can't do anything about the first two, but the third one is what we can all keep and handle and take control of. More families in minority communities, Black and brown, disinvested communities are the ones that are disproportionately affected by these high rates of energy and disinvestment into their infrastructure. My name is Jordan Taylor, and my company is SynergyGrid. We're a sustainable real estate development company creating generational wealth and generational health through the built environment. We do that through innovative building technology practices like my man Thomas and Edenic Energy, working with partners like Nicole over at Green Compass, utilizing green and renewable energy technologies, as well as eco-efficiency. Y'all said that's not a word. Well, we're going to use it today. Y'all get the point. Taking buildings from these old dilapidated structures, causing us waste and inefficient energy use, to clean and green energy producing machines. Who do we work with? We work with developers, and we work for the people. We work for our communities, creating healthier, wealthier communities that people can have pride to live in. Now, the sustainable real estate development market is a $400 billion industry currently, today. Now, with the $2 trillion, with a T, investment through the IRA and the Inflation Reduction Act, is spurring a $100 trillion investment into the renewable energy infrastructure. I don't know about y'all, but that's a lot of money, y'all. And we plan to take a big part of that through our secret sauce: innovative technologies, sustainable building practices. Yours truly, an industry expert. I've been in the industry for over 10 years in renewable energy and 20 years in real estate development. Oh my gosh, you look so young. This. And I'm going to tell you guys a secret. We actually care about people. We are doing this for communities like my community that I grew up in West Baltimore. This right here, y'all, this is the first microgrid net zero community in the state of Maryland. Probably in the country, but I wasn't going to get all that crazy, y'all. What this means is we are able to produce more energy than this neighborhood consumes. So we can actually provide auxiliary services and support to our neighboring communities. When that power outage happens, when lights go out, this community is still on, still resilient, still able to take and cool food, pay bills, and take everything that they can do to keep themselves up and running. And this is also a microgrid facility, meaning that they are impervious to any of these issues that affect your rural communities, that affect your inner city communities with energy intermittency, and they depend heavily on the grid. And so you say, how do we make money? We make money several different ways for all our investors in the room. We make money through construction of these green buildings. We make money through energy and energy management, through leasing these buildings to our communities, and then also through the operations and maintenance. So, again, for my investors in the room, some numbers to show our performance. But like the kids today would say, we up. The reason being, we have a crazy need for sustainable development. We've got new technology and sustainable building practices that lower our construction costs. The smart market is booming, and we got the locations. We are working in our communities that have been disinvested for years. And so there is a major opportunity for wealth and wealth creation. These are some of our projects that everybody in here has the opportunity to invest in. And now everyone asks, what do you need? What do you need? Actually, I don't need your money. Like I said, we up. I'm asking for you to invest in your communities, where you come from. I see all these beautiful black and brown faces. We have a real need to reinvest into our communities. And look at all them commas. That's money we missing out on. But you're going to need to work with developers like this. Right here, just with these few people, we got 50 years of combined experience. Check the resume. Certified badasses on there too. We are changing the way we are looking at real estate. All of these companies, and I know you recognize some of these names, think that we're doing something awesome as well. So scan that QR code, check us out, get a consultation with me, and come build the cities of the future. Thank you. And next up to the stage, y'all, they got the drip on tuberculosis, Digvijay and Bonolo with Drizzle Health, y'all.
Hi everyone, my name is Bonolo and I'm excited to share with you today the work that we've been doing at Drizzle Health. We are building $2 diagnostics for tuberculosis and future pandemics.
So, hi, my name is Digvijay, and last month I was in India visiting my parents. There's been a lot of development, logistical development, and a lot of people have moved into big cities. In fact, I could get anything delivered to me in 10 minutes. And yet, less than a mile from me, there was this migrant worker who had been having chest coughs for weeks, and he couldn't afford to go to the doctor because he didn't have time. He was living hand to mouth. And then when he actually did end up going to the doctor took his sample, went inside, flipped a coin, and came outside and told him he didn't have tuberculosis, but he actually did. And this is not an isolated incident. Some version of this story is true for 10 million people every single year. 40% of these patients are not even found. That's 4 million people spreading it to their families without knowing. And it's not for the lack of tests. There are two kinds of tests: microscopy, which costs less than $1, but that's the test back at the doctor's office, which is 50% accurate. And then there is PCR, which is just too expensive, and nothing in between. But moreover, we've not applied the one lesson that we all have learned during COVID, which is to stop the spread. So we went about trying to develop a test that was not too costly for governments, that was not too far from patients, and that would actually stop the spread by being fast enough.
And with that, I'd like to introduce you to Mindupi. This is an instant optical reader platform that we have designed to test patients for not just tuberculosis, but for other communicable bacteriological diseases. With Mindupi, the migrant worker, like the one from Dick's story, is able to get tested for TB within the comfort and privacy of his own home. We have also designed a $2 cartridge that works not just with our reader, but also with existing smear microscopy sensors. In fact, this image shows a lab technician in India who is currently using our $2 cartridge to diagnose patients for tuberculosis in our ongoing field study. Now, the results of our study so far are amazing. We have achieved 100% sensitivity and specificity performance match compared to a leading PCR test for TB in the market. That's 100% sensitivity and specificity at 1/10 of the cost.
So think about COVID-like dashboards where we can have real-time data on patients as they're infecting. So we could provide treatment right there on the spot. For the pharma industry, this alone represents over $10 billion worth of drugs if we are able to find these patients. So our thesis is actually pretty simple. We want to find and treat these patients, not in the 2 months that it currently takes them, but in less than a week. So we're starting with India for 2 reasons. India has the highest number of tuberculosis cases in the world, and the government has a strong political goal to eradicate TB by 2025. In fact, when we presented our solution to the state health government of Rajasthan, they approved a 1,000-patient pilot study right on the spot.
Our business model is simple. We are following the razor blade model where we will charge $2,000 for each Mindupi platform and $2 for each cartridge. In fact, we have 2 key partnerships in India who collectively have access to a network of over 100 clinics. And for these clinics, we plan to bundle our offerings together such that we'll be selling them 1,000 test kits per year. And based on this, we anticipate that we'll generate an annual recurring revenue of $25 million per year. And this is just from the initial sales from the $2 microscopy cartridges. Right now, we're in the process of completing our field study, the one with the really amazing results. And following that, we will file for regulatory exemption, and then we're concurrently completing the technical development of our reader, and we will begin the pilot studies of that in Q1 of 2024. Our team is comprised of experts within the infectious disease space, so much so that during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, the NIH's RADx program came to Dig and I and asked us to help them scale up COVID-19 testing here in the US. We also have advisors who have expertise within business and as well as the clinical development of infectious disease assays. Right now, we are looking to expand our team. We are looking specifically for people who have expertise within the manufacturing as well as to help us establish our quality management systems. We're also looking for potential partners for our future pilot projects, as well as non-dilutive funding and grants. So if you know of anyone, please feel free to come stop by our table after this.
So in closing, just think about what we are building. It's not just a $2 cheap TB test. It's last mile diagnostic delivery infrastructure for all of our community that just does not exist. It's important because we do not know where the next pandemic will come from. So please feel free to come by and, grab a drink.
And now I'd like to ask you to please give a warm round of applause for Nicole. She is the decarbonization Duchess from Green Campus.
Good job, guys. Hello, everybody.
Oh.
All right. My name is Nicole Whalen, and I'm the founder of Green Compass. We retrofit buildings to fight climate change. But why buildings? Because buildings represent over 70% of emissions of the District of Columbia in 2019. They're the largest source of local and global emissions. But as Jordan and Thomas already mentioned, we have the existing technology to retrofit buildings to have low and net zero emissions. All we need is the investment to change them from the largest source to the largest solution to our climate crisis. And that's exactly what we're doing. Green Compass has been investing in cleaner, healthier, more affordable buildings since 2018. We do it by electrifying operations, investing in efficiency measures, and deploying zero carbon technology like solar and green infrastructure that puts nature to work to reduce operating costs and air and water pollution. And we're also on a mission to meet the Paris Agreement, which requires all buildings to be net zero by 2050, but less than 1% are today. So far, we have completed 24 projects across every ward in DC that's saving clients over $1.9 million in operating costs, as well as avoiding over 1,400 tons of annual CO2 emissions. We own and operate several projects, and we have a fund with DC Green Bank set up, a revolving loan set up with DC Green Bank to build out more projects. But we also work to provide all of these services with a network of service providers. In our B2B services, we offer electrification, renewables, and energy efficiency. And we don't charge client costs. We earn a sales commission directly from the service provider for these projects. And this includes everything. Let me touch back a little bit of what electrification means. This looks like EV charging, solar, LED lighting in the photo, anything that's reducing emissions indoor and also through efficiency measures. But we also develop our own projects. And our specialty is with green stormwater infrastructure. So we're able to generate recurring revenue by benchmarking building performance. Typically where we start is seeing where the buildings are at. But green stormwater infrastructure, these are mini water treatment facilities that we design, build, and operate that can capture and treat thousands of gallons of runoff, stormwater runoff every rainstorm. And we do this at no cost to property owners. Property owners benefit by having utility savings on their water bill, often in the of 25% or more. And Green Compass is able to collect and then sell the stormwater retention credits to developers in the district looking for offsite stormwater compliance. So to recap how we make money, stormwater retention credits is the main generation of our revenue that we've established, along with B2B sales commission, annual benchmarking, and service fees and contracts. But 52% of our projects have had no client investment whatsoever, only savings. And this is something we're quite proud of. But if planting trees and growing money on trees that we plant for free sounds unprofitable, this next slide's for you. We have established a guaranteed cash flow. This is guaranteed revenue because we We started generating stormwater retention credits in 2020. Last year, we captured 30% of the market with 15 buyers, generating over $590,000 in revenue. Our stormwater credits are backed by a public price lock guarantee that secures this cash flow and 7x growth over the next 12 years. We can easily double this. We just need to grow our team a little bit. Because currently we're a small team supported by contractors. Dinah is our CPA that keeps our financials secure and reliable. Keith is a founding partner, a real estate professional, and key source of new business. And myself, founding CEO, started my professional life as a dive master in the Caribbean, but worked my way upstream to save my reefs. And our ask. We are asking for help to develop a green bond financial product. We're also asking for introductions to talent, advisors, and intros to new climate tech building owners to work with, but more so the green bonds. Now hear me out. We want to raise debt secured by our stormwater retention credits, and we're looking for advisors in the bond finance world to help us create this product so that we can offer a high quality green bond product that offers a steady return for debt investors. And our roadmap looking over the next 2 years is we need to grow our team. So we need some key hires immediately from an asset manager, sales associate, and program analyst. This team will just help us rinse and repeat what's already working and what's already generating revenue for us. And to be able to ramp up these double-digit growth multiplier markets with EV charging looking at 10x and benchmarking even more so with the new benchmarking laws in the district and federal. And stormwater retention credits as well. You guys can help us change the climate faster. We're looking for help with creating our green bond product, but we're also looking for warm leads and introductions to talent, we're looking for warm leads and introductions to talent to join our team. For clean tech and new climate tech we should be aware of, and also for advisors to help us build out our green bond product. Thank you. And now it's my honor to introduce our next fellow who is making waves in the world of mental health for the LGBTQ+ community. Please welcome Tara Marshall-Hill.
Good afternoon. I'm here to introduce you to Sindano Health, where we're enabling equitable access to competent mental health care, one review at a time. My name is Tara Marshall-Hill, founder and CEO of Sindano Health. You see in front of you my family, and behind you too, depending on where you're sitting. We're pretty queer. And the process of finding competent and appropriate mental health care has felt like playing a guessing game, but the stakes are just too high. So I was done waiting for someone else to solve the problem. And it turns out that the solution that I was building for my family is a solution that our community needs. Sindano, Spanish for without harm. We all know there's a mental health crisis in this country. 1 in 5 U.S. adults is suffering from a mental health condition. And the queer and Black and brown people within that number are suffering at 2 to 4 times higher rates and are 75% less likely to receive treatment. Those disparities are expensive, costing our country and especially our healthcare system $354 billion. Now, they've tried to address this And if you're familiar with value-based care, and if you're a therapist, you're very familiar with value-based reimbursement. And the issue is with this, amongst other things, it is not intersectional and it is not equity driven. And so queer and Black and brown people continue to not be underserved due to this model. How do we know that it's not working? Well, the industry told us. In a quote by David Gallegos, Vice President of Change Healthcare, many industry players lack needed technology and processes to support the key parts of value-based care, such as data-driven, population-based, whole-person approach to care. And so, we are building the glass door of mental health care, where individuals can join a supportive community, access resources, and leave reviews for mental health providers with whom they've worked. Because we believe the core problem are critical information gaps. We have directories, which are great, but they don't really provide feedback from people just like us. There are some review sites, ZocDoc and HealthGrades and others, but they're public and therefore unreliable and frankly dubious. And even within healthcare and the big data in healthcare, EHRs, patient call recordings, and insurance claims, that's just not enough because they all go through administrators and clinicians. Now, let's kind of backtrack to those directories. When we spoke to folks about where they go to find a therapist, the majority said their insurance portal or Psychology Today, one of the other, and some both. In DC alone, 1,300 therapists checked the box LGBTQ+. In other words, they are safe for LGBTQ+ clients. And in Cigna's portal, 248. Again, this is in Washington, D.C. alone. How many of those were vetted by people within the community? 0. Leading to a community trust deficit. 20+ specialties. What does culturally competent even mean? Depends on who you ask. And those therapists, they're fed up with value-based care reimbursement too. And they're leaving the profession and insurance networks, which is costing the healthcare system $5 billion. The core result, critical systemic failures, payer network inadequacy, provider burnout and turnover, and patient dissatisfaction, and poor outcomes. We believe that the core solution is a community-driven data curation approach. What makes our data better? Well, our web of trust ensures data reliability. Invite only, in other words, our app is invite only. The reviews are anonymous with no digital trail, and every member has to sign a code of conduct. Our 360-degree collaborative model creates a unique feedback loop that drives actionable insights to a spectrum of mental health care stakeholders, from our Sindano community app to our equity insights reporting, and down the line, our intersectional competency trainings. With this novel approach, everyone benefits. More effective policies and practice models, positive patient engagement, better outcomes, employee benefits, ROI improve, and most importantly, we all get access to intersectionally competent care. Insurance companies and ACOs are able to access data on the back end from the reviews to determine how folks in the LGBTQ plus community are navigating the mental health care system. Where are the gaps? Who is being served across various data points like race, age, and geographic location? The US behavioral health market is a $92 billion industry that is broken and primed for disruption. With Sindano Health, our customers can drive quality of care improvements, enable value-based care innovations, and maximize revenue potential. I see a great business opportunity. We anticipate early success enabled by our national partnerships, strong community ties, and EBM network, with our app generating $7.3 million in the first 3 years, and our licensed dashboards and static reporting or equity insights generating $1.2 million. What is our secret sauce? Well, I guess it's not secret anymore. Community collaboration, an intersectional equity framework, and continuous learning for continuous improvement. The time is now for mental health care to align with a broader movement for equity. Our team is the right team to do it, with data scientists, programmers, and empathy VR experts. Our ask is $250,000 to complete product development and fund marketing efforts. And about those marketing efforts, we also would like introductions to any media contacts that you have that will help drive user adoption and organic reach. Let's end this crisis for my family and yours. Thank you. And now, I will introduce you to the queen of the metaverse, Bianca Jackson.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. All right. Hello there. My name is Bianca Jackson, and I am the first Black woman on the planet with a Pulitzer Prize in virtual reality. I will tell them. So at BrickRose Exchange, we create events for teams and groups. So I want you to meet someone really special to me. That's Tamika. Tamika is my sister. Tamika is one of those people at work, and you know her. She's the person that plans all the fun events for people to learn and connect. So I want you to raise your hand if you know someone like Tamika. Okay, I'm going to find you after this, okay? All right. So, moving along. So Tamika, like many of you who have raised your hand, you have a problem. You're trying to plan events for teams that are based all around the world, right? But sometimes you have team members who are not engaged, and this engagement costs us about $50 billion in the U.S. alone. Did you know only 36% of employees actually consider themselves engaged at work? We have a real problem to solve. And so we are your partner. We help you solve that by creating experiences that really influence or encourage self-expression and creativity. So I'm going to need you to do like this, like you're putting on an imaginary cap. This is your imagination cap for right now. So imagine this is a video where people are moving. So in this video, this is a recent screenshot from the Coinbase event that we did with Tamika's company. Someone's dressed like a dinosaur, someone's dressed like a cheerleader, and someone's dressed like a panda. But they've all come together for fun. And one of the things that actually one of the employees said while we were doing this experience is that they felt like it was good to take a break, that they are able to meet their colleagues from all around the world. Tamika's team is actually based in Manila, Dublin, and different parts in the United States. So imagine being able to bring all your employees together in one experience where it's immersive and anyone can show up however they want, and it's just fun. In addition, our impact is double-sided. So in addition to working with enterprise companies like Coinbase, we actually work with local artists, creatives, and small businesses. So this avatar that you see here, that's my futuristic me. She is outfitted with a digital replication of a dress made by a Nigerian designer in Baltimore. So imagine being able to show the products and services of small businesses to enterprise clients, no matter where they are. So that's where we get our impact from. So why now? A lot of people ask me, Bianca, are people really having events in virtual reality? And the answer is resounding yes. So this article is really funny to me because it's from the year 2000. Now, for the younger people in the room, they're like, oh my God, people thought that was a fad. Like, people really thought the internet was a fad, like it was a thing that was going to go away. And I can tell you that it's not, and it's only going to continue to grow. And unlike the telephone, it won't take 70 years for this technology to take over, right? It's only going to take about 7. And so according to Mackenzie, we had this yesterday, is a $5 trillion market with a T. And so I'm telling you, it's here to stay, and it's only going to get even faster, especially with the growth of AI. Wrong way. Okay, so I want to introduce you to the team of the future. This is my team. And I like to joke and say that I am the queen of the Wakandan kings. We have 30 years of combined experience with web dev, AR, VR, AI. And so the really cool thing about our team, we're actually able to augment it with all the artists, creators, and small businesses that I mentioned before. So this is how we do it. This is actually our customer journey. So we start with education and consulting. So we've actually trained over 552 people around the world in emerging technology websites on workshops. The second thing, through immersive events and digital worlds, we've already impacted 5,000 people around the world, not only in the United States, but we've reached as far as South Africa, Kenya, and Rwanda. So massive global impact. Most people come to us, most of our clients come for employee engagement, but we're starting to see tractions in these other areas as well. So these are some of our clients. Enterprise clients, nonprofits. You'll see a Halcyon Fellow there, Finley. She was here earlier. Hey, Ariane. And so we've been doing pretty well. Already, we've been recognized by major institutions like American Express, BG&E, Comcast, Meta. But right in the middle, I'm really proud about we had a feature in the Baltimore Business Journal, and I've actually appeared at South by Southwest 4 times. Just in case you don't know what South by Southwest is, this is the same conference where Barack Obama and Elon Musk have keynoted at. So I've been back 4 times. And so I just want to say this is our only ask today, is to book an event with us. Hopefully it's a Christmas party, a fundraiser, a gala. And actually, if you scan this code, it should bring you to an app that you got to download and create an avatar. But if you don't feel like doing all that, you can come back to my table to see it. But this environment is what I like to call Coachella in your backyard. And so you'll get to see a little bit more. I want to thank you for your time and attention today. I'm really excited to be here. And that's all I got for right now. That's the first podcast I say. That's all. Don't got your name up here. But bringing up to the stage is Mr. Dan Barker, a managing director of Halcyon.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Bianca. I think we're going to have the next showcase in the metaverse. I think a good one would be in Coachella. So we'll get working on that. Thank you so much. And I standing in between you and drinks, I'll keep it short, but I'm here to first and foremost thank the fellows and congratulate the fellows. Can we give them another round of applause for the amazing job they've done? And I say thank you to them because they've entrusted us with their time and attention along their journey. And you've heard about how they are working to change the world. And we want you all to join us and join them in that journey. So you'll have an opportunity in the back to connect with them, to learn about a little bit more about what they're doing, ask them questions, bring your time, talent, and treasure, particularly the treasure piece, to connect with them. And really, we are so thankful to the community that has joined us along this journey as well. You heard Mercy talk about how hard this is. We know this work is hard. It's hard for us too. And we wouldn't be able to do this without an incredible community of supporters from EDA and Amazon Web Services, Capital One, Goodwin, the HR Sage, and SNR Evermay as key supporters, amazing advisors. Helen Manna to see here in the room, Howard, folks who work month after month directly with our fellows, connecting with them, providing them with advice. And we want to invite you also, if you're interested in joining Halcyon and joining us along this journey, find a Halcyon team member, learn about how you can also be a mentor, a skill series presenter, or a supporter of Halcyon as well. So thank you again. Thank you for your time, attention, and really we want to say cheers to all of our fellows. Congratulations.